Truth Man here, and the channel is the No Matrix, No Simping All Subjects channel. So I want to talk about handling relationship rejection. Relationship rejection. Shooting your shot rejection. We're going to talk about rejection. Now, hold on. Let the phone stop ringing. Relationship rejection. You was married. You gave it your all. You put a strong effort. You made sacrifices. And when all said and done, she rejected you and the court punished you. How do you handle that? How do you handle when you shoot your shot and they reject you? We're going to talk about different ways they do it nowadays. Let's start with relationship, long-term relationship rejection, marriage rejection. How do you handle it? Number one, you want to try to avoid getting into arguments with the person that's rejecting you. I know this is going to be hard, especially when you got kids involved, but you gotta try it. You gotta try it. So, man, why do you keep calling me, man? Is it an emergency or something? I'll call them after this. But you gotta try it. Because because your life don't end when your relationship ends. And don't. So you gotta handle it. You gotta take it. You gotta accept the reality and move on. And even when you in a relationship, the way it works now is like this. If you choose to be in a relationship, then every moment you gotta be willing to dump the person you in a relationship with. You gotta be willing to accept them dumping you, and you gotta be willing to move on. You gotta be willing to move on. Now, of course, there's gonna be situations where we're gonna be sore sports because they're gonna try to make her and let her move on with your money. They're gonna let her move on with your money. So you gotta be willing to move on. Gotta be willing to move on when you see that person done changed their mind about you. And sometimes it's not that they changed their mind. What was really in their mind just came to the surface. Like sometimes people have an agenda from the beginning. A lot of people just try to move on from somebody else that they was in love with. That was the case with my situation. You know, but like a relative said, they be liking that. Like when people have babies on them, stuff like that. They'll still be loving that person. And they'll have a better person than the person that they love sometimes. And they still will have love for that other person. When you get in relationships with people like this, you're going to be rejected, man. I'm telling you, you're going to be rejected. So you got to know how to handle it. You got to be able to take it on the chin. You get with a person, you've been with them, y'all move in together, and now she want to text other dudes or cheat. You know, you got to be willing to dump her and move on and replace her or be by yourself. But one thing you shouldn't do is try to force things with somebody that's rejecting you. Let go. Every single one of you by the sign of my voice. When you get rejected, you gotta let go. You gotta dump them. Like, okay, you rejected me. I accept it. Dump. And I'm not gonna make it easy at all for them to take anything from me, because we already had an agreement, that she wouldn't pursue me for alimony and child support. So if she try to renege or they try to, so you hurting the kids. She'll be hurting the kids. She'll be hurting the kids. Like, if you think, and then all that demonic and all that, okay, if you think I'm a demon, then to you I am. But one thing I wouldn't do is go all out and just let them take my money and give it to her. And it was her the reason why we divorced. Now, of course, she could say it's me. She could try to say it's me. But any of y'all, I guarantee y'all, if we both came on here and we put everything on the table that we both did, everything on the table that we both said, was it retaliatory? What was the nature of it? Y'all be like, yep, it was her. Guaranteed. Every rational person, every person unbiased would agree with it. I know you would. I know you would. Where I messed up, I'll admit it. I shouldn't have never, when I start having financial problems, we both should have been working. Because sometimes you get so far in the hole that you can't get out. And so women will reject you because of money situation. And then when you, like Coach Greg, if y'all hear his story, how it's like his wife started to reject him initially, from what I hear, over the financial thing. And when he got up and started doing good for himself, that woman took him to court for 16 years. Yeah. That's what they do. You worthless until you not worthless. Then they want to take from you. And just know and understand that marriage is take more than this. It's give, you give, and they take. They take. They don't really give. What are they giving? I can buy a prostitute. I don't need to be married to have sex. That's why listen. I don't need to be married to have sex. This is 2025. And look, women done pre-position me. I'm finna show you what that means. What that means when you don't go to a woman to buy cat and she come to you trying to sell it, that means that she's comfortable doing that with you. But she wants something out of it. That's what that means. That's what that means. So you get rejected, accept it, move on. The main thing, you should be going all out for your money, and don't let no woman steal your time that you could be making money. Because when she starts to reject you, it's like if you stuck with her, you done moved her in, or you done moved in with her, now you ain't got the money to leave. That's why you make sacrifices to a point. Like, you don't go crazy making sacrifices, because when it's time for you to make a move, you won't be able to, because you done sacrificed all your money that you could have made. And that's another reason why do not get with no chick that's not working or bringing in some type of income. Because once your relationship suffers, they gonna really take her. That's where I'm really in danger. So I'm telling you based on experience. Hopefully she makes more than you if you choose to get married or to be under the same roof. And the whole time you should be saving your money. Saving your money. She shouldn't have access to all your money. She shouldn't be. I would say that little joint account stuff, don't do it. I used to think that was the way until I started having problems, and that's when I left that alone. Especially when I heard about my guy that I used to work with. He said his wife drained all their bank account and ran down to Arizona. So don't let no woman love bomb you. Don't let her make you think that she's so much different from these other women. Because when you do, it's going to hurt even more when you find out she just like them. That hurts. Now that hurts for real. I'm going to tell y'all something. People talk about you hurt. I'm going to tell you what hurt it for real. What hurt it for real. Look, there you go with that gang stalking stuff. Look. Okay, I'm finna show y'all. He moved. What hurt it for real is when I found out that she had been lying about some things, and it ain't much difference from her with her than these other women. That's what hurt it. Because I was, you get to thinking like, man, I could have married anybody. And you start thinking about your exes and comparing like, dang, man, that's messed up. When you start finding out they exaggerated their sexual activity, they exaggerated the relationships, the previous relationships. Oh, I ain't never go with him. I was just somebody I knew in college down the line. Well, actually, we did go together. See what I'm talking about? So then I put two and two together. Okay, now she's telling me she went with him. So that explains why he was calling when I was over there. And it hurt, man. It hurt because you be down the line and you know how family court get down. And you be like, oh my goodness, what did I do? So what happens in court is going to determine whether or not me meeting her was bad luck. Even as lovely as my kids are. If they fleece me, man, that was the worst day. Because it's not even worth it, man. Ain't none of them worth you giving up half of what you make. Like I told y'all, it's like this. You own a job. And the job tell you this. They say, well, we're going to start you out at $50 an hour. But if you quit the job, you got to pay us $25 an hour for X amount of time. Who going to take that job? Nobody. But that's what divorce is. Your pay is $50 an hour. But if you quit this job, you have to pay us $25 an hour. That's what divorce is. Divorce is rejection from some. In my case, I didn't reject her. I'm just responding intelligently to being rejected. I'm not going to try to stay with her. For what? Not to have sex the rest of my life? Because if I was like, all right, forget all this, I'm sorry. She's not going to respect me. She's going to probably cheat on me eventually. And we're going to go right back to this sex rejecting stuff. So it's not me rejecting her, it's me being rejected. The person that files is not always the one rejecting, it's the one being rejected sometimes. So you'd be like, all right, well, whatever. Now, nonchalance. You gotta learn. At first, it's gonna be hard, especially in my case. That I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no feelings for her as far as relationship, but Like feelings of regret, feelings of disappointment are there. Feelings of anxiety, not knowing how this whole thing finna go, man. I got a problem. To me, that's slavery, man. Like to have to pay somebody that you sever yourself from, that's like slavery, man. It's like slavery. It's like the aftermath of slavery. That's like how they was doing our ancestors after they got free, lynching them, all that stuff. That's what that remind me of. Like being forced to pay somebody that despises you. That's why I say it's like slavery. So, but you gotta handle it with nonchalance. You gotta handle it with indifference. When you shoot your shot and she rejects you, handle it with nonchalant and indifferent. If you go up to a chick or a group of chicks and they trying to roast you and stuff, just walk away. Don't argue with them. They not the only women in the world. Trust me, you keep shooting your shot, eventually you gonna hit a shot with a woman that look better than the ones who reject you, that act better than the ones that reject you. The ones that reject you, let these other dudes be the sucker and the fool. Because if they think that they won't do them the same way, like think about it, if a woman punishes men when she doesn't get her way, that's going to be a hard habit to break. So you got to always give her way for her to act right and act nice and give you some sex. That's not a good deal. I look at it like you might as well just pay for it. People think you still sinning. You committing the sin of idolatry by trying to stay with somebody like that don't like you, that's using you. That's idolatry, especially when you know it. It ain't right. Nonchalance, indifference. Like, so what? Her loss. That's her loss. Let's see her find somebody better than you. That's how you got to look at it. It's like with me, I look at the options of men that's out here, and it make me feel yeah, I'm doing pretty good. See, a woman and just try to keep putting you down, that's an enemy. That ain't no wife. See, a man is married until he says he's not. I don't care what that paper say. I have to explain that to somebody. Once a man says, that ain't my wife, that's not his wife no more. You don't believe me? Go read Deuteronomy 24. See, people don't go by the Bible. They go by their feelings. But that's not fair. When the Most High makes decisions, you got to look at the whole picture. So you no sympathy. You got to be nonchalant. You got to be indifferent. You got to move on. Move on. Stop thinking about her. Move on. Recognize and realize how she felt about you. She rejected you. Or whatever the situation is where the rejection. But we talking about shooting your shot and getting rejected in relationships. You always should be willing to be by yourself or with somebody else instead of trying to be with somebody who's rejecting you. If she says you're not her type, it's supposed to be the end of it. But some of them won't even tell you that. That's what's dangerous about dealing with modern women. You could not be somebody's type and they won't even tell you. They'll just use you. That's why when you start finding out, move on. Marriage is business. It's not about your feelings. Stop making it about your feelings. Stop making relationships with women about your feelings. They're transactional business. It's business transactions. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I do thank y'all for watching. And keep tuning in. Keep tuning in for more videos from the Truth Man on this channel. The No Matrix, No Simping All Subjects channel. Look, man, when they reject you, this how you got to be in your heart, and this how you got to be in your mind. You got to be willing to do them like this.